since you were thrown into the Knicks. You would think that I would have something fucking fantastic lined up for you. I am happy to report that that's not the case.
You just hit me with the Dark Souls "you died" screen and call it good.
And just call it good. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
So first
all this build up just to be like, yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm happy you're all here on this early Sunday morning. Here's the news. This was just a big fake out, and then I just played the Thylea laughter clip on loop.
Oh my god. I would be there for it. Like, alright, well, I got a couple hours to drop a character.
Let's see.
Meet Ozymandias, the rogue.
That would be hype, actually. If like just as an ox, or would they become a minotaur or something?
No, just as an ox. I've been playing Wrath of the Righteous, and they just let you level up your mounts. Give them feats and skills, training in different skill proficiencies. It's ridiculous.
What are you playing as?
I mean, he'd probably like the best rogue ever because his thieves tools would be right there at the end of his horns, and like, if you maintain that shit don't break.
I grew up with Scooby-Doo, so I never questioned animals just having access to lockpicks, like ever. That just seemed like a completely natural thing. So I was well prepared for My Little Pony when I was like, you expect me to believe that these creatures without opposable thumbs built this incredible civilization with what? Their fucking mouths? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So
No, yeah. I can make it work.
Let's see, go here. Oh, there is actually a group, an Odyssey group, where someone does play as a Pegasus.
Oh.
Yeah. So
I hope it's a sassy Pegasus like Hercules.
We wouldn't even be innovators in our field, which is wild. All right. So we have this muscled up Oedicus. He's got an 18 fucking strength. It's pretty nice. So let's see, Oedicus, hyena, I'll throw him out over here. All right, and then let's see, Andronikos, you are going as yourself, and Andronikos' player is well versed in traversing dreams. Yeah, so
I've been practicing.
Yeah, apparently everything you've done as a pirate has led up to this.
Oh man, crossover.
And oh shit! Why didn't I think of that? Oh,
that would be really bad.
Would it be bad? Don't do it. Okay.
No, I just mean Kishara would fuck everything up.
Oh yeah. Let's see. We got Orrin as himself. Who else got thrown overboard? I'll be honest. I can't even remember.
Hirak, Halise, and a Cyclops, I believe.
Yeah, the giant, yeah.
Yeah. You got a Cyclops, yeah.
Undead Cyclops.
Oh yeah, the zombie Cyclops got knocked off.
Okay, well we got 5 characters right here. So maybe we'll leave the Cyclops alone. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I guess Andronikos, will you be playing Andronikos?
I will.
Okay. Orrin will be playing Orrin. Who wants to play Halise? Or Oedicus or Hirak. You know what? Julian and Maya, why don't you guys roll for it real quick? Roll a d20, and highest number will pick of the 3 available NPCs.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna say highest number just gets Halise. It should be Oedicus for the honor.
Okay, Maya, who do you want to play of Oedicus, Hirak, or Halise?
I'll play.
Obvious answer.
I kind of want to play Oedicus.
Okay.
Damn it!
Apparently he's beefy now. 18 strength, damn.
All right, so Oedicus, the hyena, is going to be played by Maya. All right, I have set you as the owner of this mighty warrior. All right, that brings us to Julian. You want to be Halise or Hirak? Or you could write off saving both of them, and I'll let you play as the zombie Cyclops. But it'll go in the history books that you signed the death certificates of Halise and Hirak. So
Oh, what?
Remember
The
that.
opportunity to play a zombie Cyclops. How often do I get that?
To play as
No.
the Cyclops you threw overboard.
I don't know. I feel like next year there's going to be opportunities to do all kinds of banana shit because I'm only doing like one shots and miniseries next year, which is going to be a very liberating experience storytelling wise because we could just pretty much do fucking whatever we
Anything
want.
can happen. Literally
I'm
anything.
talking about a Cullinancer adventure because this new book, Valda's Spire Secrets, they just unlocked the Sorcerer. It's a
I have
condiments
the perfect
based.
character for that.
Yeah, it's a condiments based sorcerer.
Condiment King.
I need that.
Yeah.
I have the perfect character for that campaign without even meaning to. It's a Warforged. I think Bender tried to learn how to cook, but actually gives a shit about protecting life.
Does he
Fantastic.
cast haste using ketchup?
Oh, dude!
Oh,
Wow,
oh, damn.
that was elaborate. That was some elaborate shit.
Oh,
That was
dang.
that's from a Xanth novel right there.
I think I think that requires some deep inspiration. That was good. That was subtle.
Yeah, you're not even playing, but go ahead and add that. We'll add that to yeah. Bank that shit. All right, I'll add it to Sibo's sheet right now.
I will play as Halise.
Okay. Sorry, Hirak. Between the two most unlucky NPCs I've seen in my whole life, you are the most unlucky, Hirak. All right, so let me give you access to Halise real quick.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like Hirak has a rough time of it.
He
Hirak,
does.
I mean, yeah, he does. His love-
honestly, the decision came to I don't want to unpack that bag.
Fair.
I mean, considering
I mean, Julian's got enough shit going on that I don't know if
Can't play
player
two
can
depressing.
deal with his own
got-
shit and then somebody else's shit, just like fail upon fail.
he got skewered, he got burnt, he got disowned by his tribe, and now his love of his life died.
And the very last thing you saw before
But
he
he
gets
doesn't
thrown
know
over
that.
the
Yeah, he doesn't know that.
yeah, I guess he was already over the edge before she got
Yeah.
nuked. Warren, I think, saw it, but Hirak did
Yeah,
not.
Orange saw.
All right, so the Nyx. So per Theros, the Nyx is the literal night sky, but also the realm of dreams. And it's really not too much different in Thylea. It is sort of the miasma that Thylea is sort of adrift in. If you are a spelljammer connoisseur, it is the Flastogen, basically the space soup. It's space soup.
Is it flammable like the phlogiston?
Oh, I sure hope not. But
Damn.
basically, it serves the purpose in this campaign setting of being sort of like the ethereal plane. It's basically like the ethereal plane. So, within it, time and space, thought and memory and reality and emotion are all just sort of coexisting and competing for dominance over one another. So in a way, it does also have some similarities to Limbo. If you are a planeswalker background, you would, like Limbo is basically just a soup of all the primordial elements, and you manifest reality within it based on your will, essentially. So, yeah, it's not a great place to be cast adrift because you could be lost forever. You could be lost to time. You could be lost to space. This is a very cool way for a lost one to have reached Thylea, for example. Is they could have been maybe a spelljammer pirate that was knocked overboard during a battle and tumbled through and into the ethereal, and then the Nyx, and then Thylea. But yeah, it's basically a gateway realm. The problem here is that Thylea is an isolated demiplane, and there are guardians in place that are designed to keep people out, as Sibo's crew discovered when they inadvertently Bermuda Triangled their way into the world and were subsequently destroyed. So it's a dangerous place, and one by one, you found yourselves tossed inside the Nyx. So it began with Hirak, who Esther, the the Dragonlord champion, basically smashed Hirak off the side of the ship while it was sailing through the Nyx. Orrin used special power rope play to try and save Hirak, but ultimately, in the end, action economy of a solo Giffyglyph boss, he was like, nah, when I want to do something, I'm going to do it, because I got the action economy to sink into this shit.
Yeah, I should tied it.
Yeah.
Tied the rope.
So, one by one, he tossed Hirak, and then Orrin, who, attempting to climb back up, had his rope cut, I believe?
No, it was untied.
Hirak was
This
cut.
is the
Oh, yeah. The
hope
argument
of the
was made
gods.
that even Orrin, that even Esther, with his magical weapons that have killed thousands, would not have been able to cut the rope of Vulcan. And so he just kneeled down and untied it, which is, I don't know, kind of cooler, I guess, because it's way more spiteful than just cutting a rope.
Did it with like 2 fingers.
Then, to show you what kind of a man he is, he actually doggo puppy kicked Orrin's dog off the ship into the Nyx with him. Later, Halise was tossed overboard along with a mighty cyclopean zombie. Weeks after the incident, Andronikos began, along with Sibo, began to research his lineage, which is a very difficult task, considering the curse that has been placed upon Andronikos and his bloodline. But it is discovered that as a descendant of the original Nyx-born Tritons, basically the Tritons were dreamed up by Sidon himself. Andronikos can tap into that power and try to enter the realm of dreams. And since the Nyx is a timeless place, the goal of Andronikos, of course, is to go back to when Orrin first went overboard and try to find him. So we're gonna try to explore a lot of that wild, crazy shit in this session, and it's only going to be theater of the mind. So we'll see how it goes. We'll still have combat. You could still die in this adventure. So just be careful for that.
Well, that's good. I was worried that we wouldn't be able to.
I mean, I know that, without that risk of death, I mean, how could anyone ever have fun? But there's lovely illustration of the Nyx to kind of get you in the mood there. There's a tremendous amount of gorgeous art. It's all basically space, galaxy, nebulas. Kind of has that vibe to it.
Does Andronicus know if he dies in the Nyx, does he die in real life?
Yeah. Sibo puts on a black trench coat and some sunglasses, and he gives him the whole. He explains how the Matrix works and all that shit.
Sibo, you look ridiculous.
He has a little gap in his front tooth, his front teeth. Yeah, it's incredible.
Did Sibo join the cult of
No, this
Syria?
is not ridiculous, Noriande. This is the typical garb we wear when we are warning of what could happen if you dreamwalk.
The constructs try to keep you in line.
Okay, let's see. I need some. I'm gonna go grab some sad ass music. Hold on.
Oh,
Too sad. Maybe. Oh, this will work. Hold on. No more kazoo music. That nightmare is over. Andronikos, why do I have tabs open that have cats, alligators, and bears? This seems weird.
Oh
Seems
my.
weird. Yeah.
a zoo.
Was that for? Was there elephants in there?
Maybe.
Okay, that's probably why.
All right. Let's see. Okay, hold on. I'm not used to getting up this early anymore. I'm so sorry. Oh, man, I think this will actually do. All right. So, hurtling through time and space, you find yourself just sort of drifting about, Orrin. You watch the ship rapidly disappear. It is moving at a great speed towards its goal of the city of Mitros, and very quickly you are left behind. Looking about, you try to find Hirak and see no sign of him. You do, however, determined and perhaps angrily, I would assume angrily, watch as the ship sails away, and no less than, say, I don't know, 6 to 18 seconds later, you see an adorable hyena get booted off the side of the ship. Its tiny, tiny legs flailing. It begins to, like, low gravity, zero gravity, sort of tumble away from the ship.
Pedicus. One will begin to swim over to him, if that's possible.
All right, yeah. So if you would like to move about the Nyx, you will need to exert control over the Nyx itself. You need to manifest the ability to do so. Manifestation of dreams is keyed off of intelligence, wisdom, and charisma checks.
I do wisdom.
Yeah, you can do wisdom.
Alright, so just a straight wisdom check?
It is just like a caster check, yep.
Alright. Do I have anything to buff this?
Conversely, Atticus, angrily, you growl at the bad ghost man who took your master and threw him overboard, separating you from your master, and also a part of you knows that you have been separated from the person you were supposed to watch. So there's a duality of nature to Atticus. So part of you feels separated from your master, and part of you feels separated from your charge. You tumble and spin through the Nyx, but there is a part of you that is very familiar with this place and how it works.
Okay.
You can see Orrin, and he is trying his best to swim towards you. He's doing like sort of a breaststroke, just in place as he very slowly trying to make his way towards you.
I'll try and right myself and start doggy paddling towards.
All right. As a creature of unknown origin, riding around in Atticus, you do have advantage to your efforts to manifest within the Nyx.
Careful, Atticus. It's like quicksand.
Hold on. It doesn't seem like I have access to.
Oh, really?
Already. Oh wait, we don't have complication. Yeah, whatever. I'll use the reroll anyway. I didn't want to get hit with a complication, but forgot we only do.
You may have to do the whole like refresh or
refresh.
Yeah.
Can't afford any more misfortune tokens.
I guess we should just go to this map. That's the Nyx sailing around.
Yeah,
Huh?
All right.
Oh, okay, you got it open now.
Yeah, wisdom check.
Okay. What was that wisdom check coming in at? 10? Okay, yeah.
Oh,
so
no, 10, yeah, 10.
The two of you very, very slowly, like 5 feet per round, begin drifting towards each other.
I've got you, boy. Here, let me.
It's like the dramatic scene where the dog is reunited with its master, but someone decided to play it in ultra slow speed.
Is that Baywatch I hear? So, yeah, Orrin's swimming. He's putting his all into it.
Atticus is gonna laugh nervously as he gets close to Orrin.
Okay.
And then stop and stare at him for a second quietly.
Yeah, what feels like an eternity passes, and you do eventually collide with each other. And I assume, embrace.
Yeah. We're in a rough spot, boy. Orrin's gonna take out the rope from Vulcan and tie it as like kind of a harness type thing to Oedicus, and then tie the other end to his belt.
Fair. All right. Let's see. So you kind of lash each other, to each other, to try to cut down on the amount of people who go missing again. That's fair. All right. As you continue to sort of drift, you feel. Yeah, this will work. This will work. You feel pulled towards a glimmering star on the horizon. Looking at it, it begins to grow larger and larger, and the distance between you and that glimmering star seems to be shortening at an exponential pace. You don't feel that you're drifting any faster than you were before, and when you look left and you look right, you look back behind you, everything seems to be that slow, methodical drift. But as anytime you look at the star, especially if you looked away and look back at it, it is closer and closer and closer. It gleams with a beautiful blue and green and sort of russet gold light. Do you wish to prevent the approach of this star, or do you wish to move closer to it, or do you just prepare yourself for it? What is the goal here?
Does it look like the ship is anywhere to be seen, or is it long gone?
Oh yeah, the ship is long gone at this point.
Can't swim very well.
Yeah, like the several days it took you and Oedicus to like drift into each other. Yeah, the ship that whole event's way over. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. I mean, there's probably no outrunning it, boy. Let's just swim towards it, I suppose. And
Laugh in agreement.
yeah, we turn our floundering towards the star.
All right, fair enough. So, interesting. Okay. As you accept your sort of destination, you feel your body sort of pick up speed. You can feel a force drawing you towards the star. And as you approach, you see it's not a star at all, but a window that looks into a place in time and space. And before, go ahead and give me a perception check. Both of you can give me a perception check. Okay. You do not have time to. Other than that, it is a stream or a very small river. Now, let's be honest, it's a stream. Running through a forest. And you can hear the sounds of battle. But beyond that, you don't have time to sort of register what is happening until you are already passing through that window. As you do, there is a bright and blinding light, and Oedicus, you and Orrin lose consciousness, and everything just goes white. All right, I'll take you over to that area. Okay. Let's see. So, Orrin, when you and Oedicus open your eyes, you actually don't see Oedicus. So what's going on here? This is the classic dream traveler riding around in a body that's not theirs. If you're familiar with quantum leaping, this is some quantum leaping shit that's going on right here.
Nice.
Yeah. So what has occurred? What has occurred is, Orrin, you are in that battle. The battle where you and your men and women were essentially up against an enemy you could not defeat. The odds were completely against you, and everything in that battle kept going wrong. Looking about, you see loyal Doggo. That's was sort of the mascot of your platoon, as it were. And you see a number of other allies, including the healer, and a very powerful hoplite who is said to be able to channel the power of the gods themselves. So, you guys have sort of been routed, and you are on the run essentially from a centaur warband. You reach the steep sort of embankment over this stream. You see across the bridge there are more centaurs waiting for you. Everything is playing out exactly as it did before. I guess we can go ahead and roll into some initiative, but it's going to be relatively loose because, theater of the mind again. So let's see. We'll do the 5 of you, and then we'll do 1 NPC. And then, let's see. Actually, the 4 of you, because Hirak is not there. At least not that you can tell. All right. So I'll throw you guys into initiative. And then I'll do 1 for the centaurs in the western squad and 1 in the eastern squad.
Oh no, if Eric's on the other side.
I'm rolling hot tonight, boys.
That's good. That's good. Oh, should I be handing out some boons and shit? I mean, I guess it's not like
technically combat, right?
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. We got a succeeded to cost, complication, boons. There we go. So this is a boon for Orrin. And then we've got let's see. We got a consequence, or sorry, a complication caused by Halise existing. All right. So there you go. Let's see.
Healer's stricken with fear by the horde of centaurs coming.
All right. And I do have, a million ancient Greek names if the names of these individuals matter that much. All right, so we'll go ahead and start some combat up. All right, let's see. Amongst the initiatives here, Orrin, you have won the initiative. You're a younger man. You have your arm, your eyes are your own, and all around you, you see the remnants of your battalion. What is the best word to use for your guys? Because I just keep throwing out random names for groups of soldiers, but
I think would be a cohort.
all right. So the remains of your cohort, most of you were run down by the centaurs and their cyclopean allies. Oh, now we're starting to understand a little bit more about maybe why Orrin didn't like those enterprising business cyclopses. Some people call them bandits, whatever.
Oh, he's racist.
Oh,
No.
he's been through trauma, but yeah, that's no excuse. All right, Orrin, what's the plan?
All right, I'm gonna do a wisdom save because being back in this environment, I don't know if I think he might just slip back into like the same mindset he was in back then. So,
Oh, like get lost in the memory kind of deal?
oof.
Oof.
Yeah, okay. Being back in, Orrin kind of looks around, seeing the faces of all these familiar to him. He sees Dogicus is still alive, and he just kind of slips back into it. He turns to, I would assume, like the leader of the cohort is still here. That'd be Gavril. Let me put that. That was the captain, the cohort leader. I would assume they're still alive.
All right, so of all the assembled minis here, who would be Gavril?
Which one's the most badass? Well, that would be that could probably be Isadora. I would say that's probably Gavril.
All right. All right. Here we go. Just making it happen. All right. So, Gavril, and this is Isadora over here.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Down and out soldier.
All right. So Gavril turns to you and he says, Orrin, the fight is not lost. You guard the east, and I will take the west. And he boldly steps onto this bridge as the oncoming centaurs proceed to begin rushing the bridge.
Alright, yeah, Orrin will look to the others and say, "You heard the captain!" And we'll move to watch to guard the east. Kind of slams his the bronze shield into the ground. Much more manipulation able to be done with both arms, kind of bracing the sword. Yeah, you can see he actually holds his spear in his right arm with his shield on the left, and digging it into the ground begins to form a shield wall with several of the other soldiers on the east.
All right, yeah, they all being clanging their spears against their shields and doing the football / soldier ooh-ha, ooh-ha kind of like chant as they try to pump themselves up.
Bark, bark.
Each and every one of you is covered in the blood and bone and flesh of your trampled and slain allies. Many of your fellow soldiers bear grievous wounds that will inevitably take them, despite the great skills of your healer, who recently learned healing word. All right, and you start to kind of prepare for that oncoming horde of centaurs. All right, who do you pass to?
Let's give it to Andronicus, and then perhaps Andronicus is Lucas.
Oh, hype. Okay.
I could read you this little backstories I got. So
Yeah. Feed him his stuff, because they do that for what's his face when he quantum leaps. Say, Ziggy or whatever, right? Like, let's know what's going on. It's been a while.
All right, so Gavril was the captain of the. So Orrin was in the 3rd cohort of the 24th Legion. Gavril was the captain of this cohort. He was introduced to Orrin by his son Lucas, took a liking to him and helped train him prior to Orrin taking the entrance exam to the Centurions. And he was a constant source of advice and support, helping to develop Orrin's ideals and sense of justice. Lucas here was his oldest friend he met prior to joining the army. They became friends while roaming the streets of Mitros. Lucas's father, Gavril, was instrumental in getting Orrin accepted. And then there's Isadora, a fierce and strong woman. Isadora was one of a handful of women inducted into the Centurions, found camaraderie with both Lucas and Orrin in the 3rd cohort. And then I guess one of these guys would be Raphael. And that would be Orrin's direct superior in the 3rd cohort. Took a liking to Orrin after seeing his work ethic. So that'd be like a lieutenant that would have like a smaller squad. And then Gavril would be like the captain of the entire cohort.
Maybe this guy?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
Man,
This is Raphael?
Yeah.
Where's Donatello?
Oh my god, I knew
Some
so.
people pronounce it Raphael, which actually sounds kind of hype too.
Yeah, Raphael sounds good.
All right.
If it'll stop the Ninja Turtles.
I think Raphael is actually an angel from Christian mythology too. All right. All right. What else? Yeah. Okay. So Lucas, let's talk about what's going on here. Andronicus, you and Sibo are in basically like not so much an isolation chamber, but like a meditation chamber. Like basically Vallus, she found out about, you know, monk culture of Eregia. They do a lot of meditating, things like that. And then she had commissioned a meditation chamber of her own, because goddess of wisdom or whatever, where she could go and sort of explore her thoughts without any sort of distractions. So once the room is sealed, like hermetically sealed, there's no like sound, there's no light, and you are placed in this room, and they seal you inside, and you only have a certain amount of air inside the room before you start to kind of asphyxiate. And they also like lit a bunch of like incense that is supposed to heighten your senses and increase the likelihood that you can enter the Nyx. As you sort of succumb to the fumes and the silence and the darkness, you sort of nod off, and then at the same time your eyes snap awake, and you are in the middle of a battle, and you see a young Orrin who is intact. You see a woman dressed in battle armor, but very obviously a healer, and you see sort of superimposed on top of her Helise. And as the woman moves, you see Helise sort of move with her, but just out of sync. You see a military doggo wearing adorable military doggo armor, including the little pleated skirt like that the centurions would wear. They put it on the dog too. It's adorable. But you also see not just Oedicus, but you see a hunched over hyena-like man that seems to be mimicking the movements of Oedicus as Oedicus mimics the movements of the dog. Yeah. You yourself know that you are Lucas, friend of Orrin, son of Gavril, and defender of the city of Mitros. You have lost many in today's battle, and this is all that remains. Hunted by the centaurs, you are trapped in a pincer attack, and more than likely you will not survive. Your allies are afraid. They shake both with adrenaline and with fear. What do you do?
So we are getting attacked from both sides?
Yes, off camera or off map, more centaurs are charging after you guys. So the slowest centaur's got a speed of 50. So you guys are in a bad situation. You had sort of hoped, your father had hoped that you guys could reach the bridge, and then you could basically set the bridge on fire, get across the bridge, and then the centaurs would be slowed by trying to cross the river, and maybe that would buy you guys some time. Or, full on 300, kind of stand on the bridge and like fight them. What you did not anticipate, or what he did not anticipate, was that there would be other centaurs waiting, that you had basically been herded into a trap.
Okay, so we were headed. We haven't crossed the bridge yet.
Correct. Yeah.
And
Can you see on the?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know whether we had just crossed the bridge or whether we were waiting.
Oh, no. Yeah, you were hoping to cross, but there's centaurs waiting on the other side.
Okay. I'll nervously look to Orrin really quick, and I'll say, this isn't nearly as bad as that time in Stygian Row, remember? And then I'll say, Dad, maybe we abandon the bridge idea and cut it down from this side. At least then we only got one side coming for us.
Your father looks back at you and says, that's my son. I'll hold the bridge. You take the troops to a more defendable position.
Dad, we're not gonna outrun centaurs.
And he looks at you, and his face is stern. And he says, then we will give them a fight worthy of the gods.
I do whatever the Mitros version of a salute is towards him, but then I glance nervously back over my shoulder towards the forest, And I just say, yeah, but maybe just one group at a time.
No, he nods and kind of with his spear, he kind of motions for you to head north, towards the forest. But he is going to stay and try to stop these centaurs from crossing. He's going to try to buy you some time.
Action economy, this isn't going to work out for you, Dad.
He cries out, "This is theater of the mind. Anything's possible."
That's fair. Okay.
He's got Tunnel Fighter. Don't worry about him.
Oh shit! Yeah.
In that case, I'm gonna grab Halise by the arm and be like, "We don't need healers on the front," and push her towards the direction that Gavril indicated.
Okay.
Go on, we'll be right after you.
All right. Play his pass to Halise. Halise, you were cast adrift, and as you were, a good part of the beginning of being there was trying to avoid this zombie cyclops who kept clumsily trying to grab for you. Now, possessed of a keen mind and in tremendous wisdom, you tried to manifest your way back to your allies, and in doing so, you opened your eyes on this scene. You know that you are Eris, a soldier and healer, working for the city of Mitros. Your cohort has recently been decimated by centaur raiders, and you carry the weight of everyone who has died, and want nothing more than to save who you can. Looking about, though, you see that things are grim. Your leader, Gavril, is essentially about to sacrifice himself to buy you whatever time he can. And his son, Lucas, has instructed you to head north along the bank into the woods to try to get some more cover, and perhaps give some of you a fighting chance. But things are looking bleak. You know all of this, but you also know that you are Halise. As you look about with your very high wisdom, you do see, similar to what Andronikos saw, you see Orrin, but you also see the sort of broken and changed Orrin that you have come to know, superimposed over the young, fresh-faced, blood-stained, and whole Orrin of the past. You see the strangeness of the hyena creature following around the hyena that is following around the dog, and you also see, I'm not trying to call you out here, but you also see your greatest love, Andronikos, sort of shadowing and following around this Lucas individual. What do you do?
So, from what I can see and from what Halise, Eris remembers of the area, you said it was a stream, not a river. So it's not something like we can dive in and like use the current to like pull ourselves away from the fight, like to try to escape that way.
It's moving. It moves pretty quick, and it's relatively deep. But as you can see on the map we're using to kind of ground ourselves in the scene, it's not especially wide. So yeah, it definitely would have slowed the centaur's approach.
Would have given you ford it.
Yeah, they could still forge it. But it would have required athletics checks and things like that. You could jump in and allow yourself to be swept along by it. But that's up to you and how you decide to play this out.
In that case,
and to help, it is flowing south.
Okay. Halise will turn to Andronikos and Orrin and say, Andronikos, Orrin, can we not just follow the river? Can we not just jump in and avoid this fight completely? If we stay and stand our ground, we will be slaughtered.
Better than dying tired.
But could we not outpace the centaurs using the speed of the river?
So, Centurion armor-wise, would that be something that they would be able to do, or would they just drown?
Your knowledge and your shared knowledge of Lucas's knowledge is the centaurs are expert bowmen with incredible mobility. They would more than likely just
Fielder in the River style.
yeah, fish in a river. Yeah, they would just ride along the river and just gun you guys down.
Oh, well, never mind then.
No, it's fine. Like Halise wouldn't know that, nor would Eris. So.
In that case, do I have the same equipment makeup that's on Halise's sheet, like the
Yep.
shotgun
For
and
convenience
spells and
sake,
everything?
for convenience sake, also because
Okay.
it's a dream. You just have the things that you have. Yep.
Okay, that's fine.
And
Chopper,
maybe
that only
other
returns on a
maybe
miss,
other things
right?
if you needed them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a dream. Maybe.
I have a centaur only killing bomb, actually.
Yes, I too have a holy what you call hand grenade.
I mean, technically, it's not outside the realm of dreaming. So, I mean, yeah. But whatever you feel is best. So, Halise, what is your situation?
She's still trying to wrap her head around the situation. Oh, see, I can't move because rolled a 1. So I guess she's just going to still processing everything. Shit, Divine Strike. I haven't used that in forever. How long is that? What's the range on that? What's the range on Divine Strike? Is it like 120 feet? It's not saying on the
Yeah,
sheet.
something like that. Yeah.
Are the centaurs within that range, or are they still closing?
I mean, I would say that there's plenty of targets. You could certainly hit them if you needed to.
All right. Let's see. Since the captain, since Gabble is defending the bridge, I guess I'll. Let's see.
The fighting in this scene is less about the dice rolling and more about decisions made kind of thing.
Okay.
So if you just say like Halise begins to
Halise is gonna
divine
try
strike,
to provide.
yeah,
Gonna find strike as soon as she can. The
Okay.
charging centaurs.
All right. So you call upon the power of the five gods. Energy comes to your hands, and you prepare to smite and strike out against those who would attack you and your allies. Who do you pass to?
Yes. I will pass to who's left.
You got the
Atticus.
NPC allies, Atticus, and then the two groups of centaurs. All right,
I'll
Atticus.
pass to Atticus.
All right. Atticus is going to not kind of understand what's going on. He's gonna be kind of scared, and I think Atticus would try and find his think of something that would make him happy and calm him down. And I'm thinking he's thinking about his chicken.
Okay. Do you want to manifest your chicken right now?
I think that's what he would try and do.
Okay. All right. Give me a check with advantage to manifest your stress chicken.
Save. Wisdom check.
Mm-hmm. Sadly, the stress of the situation, you go to summon your stress chicken crafted by the expert artisans of the Mithril Forge. Unfortunately, the best you can do is one chicken nugget.
Okay.
It was the one
With
who's
that,
spicy.
I'm gonna say in the attempts to do that, the creature that's also within Atticus catches that and steals himself. And I think Atticus is going to stand next to Orrin and try and get in like a guarding position.
Okay.
Because it takes a good look at him for an order.
Atticus has grown to be a small medium at this point. Now that he's being well fed and cared for. So, basically like a very big German Shepherd or a very small like Saint Bernard is kind of the size that he's at.
Go for their ankles, Dogicus.
All right, who do you pass to then?
I'll pass to, I guess we should keep we should probably give the ally soldiers a chance to get set up. So I guess the the allied our ally NPC ally.
All right, Gavril charges across the bridge, calling out a battle cry and a prayer to Pythor. You see his mighty spear glow with sort of a almost a brass or bronze metallic light as he calls forth the power of the gods and readies to attack any who would dare cross the bridge. Isadora yells at the nearby soldiers. All of them begin to mobilize and move north towards the woods. And as they do, they start setting up a shield wall, trying to sort of prepare for what is to come. All
Yeah,
right.
Orrin will move alongside him, maintaining the wall.
All right, yeah.
Probably do like a circular formation with the healer in the middle, and the dog in the middle, and then kind of soldiers around the edges.
Dog, do you consent to be pushed to the middle, or do you want to stay and protect Orrin?
I'm gonna try and stay and protect Orrin.
Okay.
Keep the standard held high.
All right. So what, like right about there, maybe? All right. There we go. Okay. And then they will pass to the two different groups of centaurs who will begin charging across the bridge. So it's one of those they want to get that charge attack in, so they're gonna kind of pace themselves as they cross the bridge before they run your commanding officer down.
And I guess his first one that gets close would get struck.
Yeah. Over here, you see one of the centaurs begin casting a spell. And they let loose with... let's see. They'd actually have to get a little bit closer. So yeah, they'll start crossing the bridge as well, and they begin casting a spell. And as they do, you see a great many like vines begin to kind of grow out and begin to kind of constrict the bridge, preventing you guys from getting to your captain and blocking him off from the rest of you. It's just entangled, but with more flavor. They pass to these others who reach the map at this point. There are more behind them, making their way in. It's looking really bad. Orrin, are you lost to this memory? Are you just the Orrin of the past? Have you lost like any sense of Orrin of the present at this point?
I'd say yeah, he's just back into it. Going how he remembers it.
So you have no idea that Andronikos is here, that Halise is here, or even that Oedicus is here, because you are completely reliving this event 100%.
Yeah, he kind of watches the vines close on the cap, gives a salute, and then turns and braces for the rest of the centaur.
Okay. In the next round, they pass to they're gonna do you dirty. They pass to them to themselves. So the one squad passes to the other squad, and Gavril, through the sort of wall of vines and thorns, he looks to you and he looks to his son Lucas, and he gives one last nod. He screams out Pythor, and he charges as they charge him, and it is just a horror show as they just run him down with blade and hoof and spear, and it is just he puts up a good fight, action economy, hit points, all that. He's a beefy ass dude, but these are some well trained centaur cavalry. It's not going too well. All right, they're gonna pass back to their fellows because abuse of the Giffyglyphs system. And let's see. All right. This centaur shaman, she looks over at all of you, and she begins to try and summon plants that rise up and entangle you guys as well, which is keeping your formation very difficult. Well, actually, no. Your formation will be great because you're trapped in these vines, and they begin to kind of ride in and try to ride you guys down as they start.
Brace.
All right. And more and more and more centaurs are just riding into the scene. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Just for flavor flaves, I'll roll a couple of attacks with them. So there we go. We got a charger with a spear and hoofs. Oh wow, they're actually not doing. All right, so as they kind of ride in, your shield wall kind of holds off the attacks as they sort of batter against your defenses. Overall, you guys can definitely hold the line, but for how long is unknown. All right, they will pass to Orrin.
All right. As the vines kind of wrap around his feet, he's gonna kind of glance over to Lucas, say, "Still not as bad as Stygian, right?" And he'll kind of lower the shield for a bit, try to slot the spear through, and begin stabbing at the centaur. So I'll throw out a couple.
Yeah.
Spear attacks.
All right, yeah, you're fighting brilliantly. Both hits land. Solid damage against the centaurs assembled in front of you. They take their hits, but they are strong.
With the first hit,
mighty.
he can like open an opening, and then the second hit, he throws the spear like towards the spellcaster.
Okay, that would be dope. That'd be dope. All right. Let's see. The spellcaster will have to do a concentration, even though it's a Giffy Wood. It doesn't technically need to concentrate. We're in a dream sequence, so it's whatevs. But she maintains it as the spear kind of slashes a line across her chest and shoulder. She winces as the blood kind of sprays. And she looks back at you, grits her teeth, and you see the third eye tattoo on her forehead briefly glow.
Oh, shout out. Something to remember us by. The third cohort, the 24th Legion. And Orrin will kind of go back to bracing in the shield wall with the other. I'll pass to Lucas Andronicus.
Okay. Lucas, who is also Andronicus. What do you do? The vines are grasping at your less powerful allies, holding them in place. They are doing everything they can to keep their resolve, hold their shields high, maintain the defenses, but it's looking bad. Looking over, you occasionally catch glimpses of your father. He is battered. He is bloody. He is staggering about, almost being passed around by the centaurs as they just punch him, stab him, hit him with their hooves. They're just trying to knock him down and basically trample him to death. You may be muted. I don't know.
No, I'm trying to decide what to do.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, what do I know about what centaurs are afraid of or superstitious about?
Oh, they're very, very superstitious. They dislike formalized magic. They prefer nature magic or magic granted by deities for services rendered. So they're more about faith magic and nature-based magic. Yeah, they believe very much in the will of Sidon and his sister Lutheria. These are definitely loyalists of the Titans and the natives. They never got over the incursion of the settlers into their lands. So this is basically like radical terrorist centaurs. They have been hunting the people of Mitros in the outlying communities and settlements for years.
All right. I want to try to manifest in his prime Pythor, just like slamming down into the ground behind them.
Oh shit. Okay. Go ahead and give me a check with whichever of the 3 mental stats you feel most confident with.
Yeah, that's about right.
It's Chubby Python.
All right. So yeah, as you go and try your best to manifest Pythor, there is a bald man in a black toga, and he looks over the counter at you and he says, "Best I could do is Tom Hardy Oxenfree." And you just hear as Tom Hardy Oxenfree looks around, no longer burned to death as a sacrifice, and just kind of confused about the situation.
Sorry we did you dirty the first time. Here it comes
Now we're
again.
doing you dirtier a second time. Hey.
Yeah, the centaurs look around at the suddenly manifested ox, and the shaman cries out, "This is an auspicious sign from the gods themselves. It represents that these intruders to our lands are yet another sacrifice to great Sidon. Spare no one." And Tom looks over at you, Lucas Andronikos, and in his eyes he says, "What comes around goes around, bro." All right, what else you got for me?
Well,
The caster, Lucas. We can't retreat without it.
the what?
The caster.
Yeah. But I don't know if I can do anything. But I guess I would still have my lightning javelin.
I mean, yeah, you have your things basically. Yeah.
I'm gonna throw that at their shaman there, so it should go through controlling centaur, occupational centaur, and then attempt to hit the shaman with it.
Okay.
Since they don't like that magic.
All right. Unable to call upon Pythor, you instead call upon Pythor through the javelin, and it flies true, striking 2 of these centaurs with a bolt of lightning before colliding with their shaman. Both of them do make their saves, and then the shaman has to just take the damage, I believe. Yeah. So that's 18 plus 19. Oh yeah, that's going to be a very hard check. Here we go. Or 18 plus 9, 27. Oh shit, she crushes it. Yeah, maintaining the thing, the javelin kind of catches her in like the flank, and furiously she kind of raises her staff, and you see nearby vines kind of grow out of the ground, grab the javelin, and tear it out of her flank. She kind of grits her teeth, her fur and hair charged with electricity, and she says, "As I said before, spare no one." And who do you pass to, Andronikos?
I just look over at Orrin and I say, "Still not as bad as Stygian-Ro." And pass to Halise.
Okay. Halise Eris, what do you do?
All right. Well, shit. Being a very empathetic person, a lot of guilt here. A lot of deaths on my conscience. A lot to deal with. A lot of deep-seated anger. I would like to try and, I don't know, just all the growth, all the greenery just seems like it's choking us. So I want to burn it away.
Okay,
I
okay.
just want to call out and say, damn you from the skies, and like call down like just fire and just start burning the bridge, burning the greenery.
All right, fair enough. So go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
Yeah, that's not enough.
I mean, 14 is pretty good. You do set fire to some of the vines and start to burn some of them away. With that check, you could free 2 people.
I will free up. I will free up Orrin and Andronicus, because I don't trust the hyena there. Sorry, Maya. And so that they can potentially have more freedom of movement.
Okay, fair enough. You guys feel fire does not burn you. Burn away these vines and thorns that were holding you in place. So Lucas, Andronicus, and Orrin, you guys do have the ability to move freely about without needing to make any saves or checks or anything. All right. Who do you pass to, Elise?
I will pass to the NPC army.
Okay. The NPC army, those that would want to move would have to make checks. Those that are in place are going to, or that are close enough, are going to attack. So I'll have Rayfield kind of roll for all his peeps, and we'll see how that goes. So let's see. Yeah, so he'll just kind of do a couple of stabs. And then a javelin, kind of just representing all the NPCs here. Oh, wow. Yeah, so your guys are doing really good against these centaurs, putting up a tremendous fight, battering them about. I'll go ahead and do a strength check just for shits and giggles. Let's see. Pretty sure she's going to beat an 11. Yeah. They are sturdy. They are built for battle and train essentially from birth to fight and raid. Their hearts filled with hatred for the settlers. They continue to fight on. Your allies over are putting up a good showing, but this is going to be a battle of attrition, Orrin. And sooner or later, they will fall. Over on the bridge, with his dying breath, Gavril cries out and continues to fight, giving everything he has to basically maim and hopefully kill as many of these centaurs as possible. He is certainly slowing them down, but it is unlikely he will live through their next series of attacks. Right. They turn to Lucas, who essentially is leading in his father's absence. And this guy says, do we stay? Do we stay and fight? Fight to the last breath.
I'm not in charge of you for you to die at some random bridge that doesn't even have a name. We're getting out of here.
But how? Where will we go that they cannot chase us?
We need to break these vines first. Attack that shaman if you can.
Okay. So a few of them are going to chuck javelins over at the shaman. Here we go. 1, and a 2, and a 3. All right. So the first one doesn't hit. The second 2 do hit. She must make 2 Constitution saves. Okay. Such is the power of dreams and memory that the first one flies straight at her neck, and just as you think it is about to plunge forth and end her life, another one of those vines kind of like snaps out of the nearby brush and just snaps the javelin in twain. More vines kind of rise up around her, forming sort of a natural shield as the other javelins kind of hit against them doing nothing. She lets out a confident laugh and continues to chant her prayers to the Titans. All right. They pass to Oedicus.
Okay. So the shaman just laughed. Does she have feathers, like wearing any feathers or anything like that?
Yes, many feathers.
Okay. And she just laughed, and Oedicus, hearing laughter, seeing feathers, he wants to
That's his laugh.
manifest her as his stress chicken.
Damn. All right, this is a big poll. Let's see what you got.
Okay. Does Oedicus have any inspiration?
I don't think so. I mean,
Do
if
we
you
have
want to
it?
use Maya's inspiration, you can. But
Mine doesn't have any. So.
Oh, okay.
Do we have a Fatspiration?
You can use Sibo's.
Oh, okay. You can use Sibo's incredible high-level dad joke inspiration.
Nice.
Alright.
Yes.
But you already have inspiration as a creature of the Nyx.
Oh yeah, I already have
Yeah.
advantage. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens.
You can keep your dad joke.
Oh, 20.
Oh, okay. You all right, those of you who can see through the dream, you see this creature that is sort of hunched over, sort of loping around. Like when Andy Serkis was trying to get into character for Gollum, you know what I'm saying? That's what this gnoll-like creature has been doing to sort of pantomime the movements of Oedicus, who is pantomiming the dog. But in this moment, with sort of a crackling sound down its spine, the creature stands to its full 7-foot height. And you see shadows kind of swirl around it. You see stars glimmering inside the creature. Its eyes glow with a murderous red intent. It extends a long arm and longer, multi-jointed spidery fingers. And it lets out its own hyena-like laugh. And you watch as this mighty centaur shaman turns into a giant chicken.
At that time, I want to have the jackal creature turn towards Orrin and say, "Remember who you are, Dreamwalker."
Oh, hype. All right, Orrin, give me a new wisdom saving throw. Or I guess in this case, it might actually be charisma, because sense of self. Yeah, give me a charisma saving throw with advantage. Oh shit! Yeah, Orrin, you come to your senses, and you feel the phantom pain of your missing limb. You feel the disconnection of the alien eye that is not your own. That like a parasite lives in your eye socket. You look around and you see everything for what it truly is. You see that beneath this chicken is a bewildered and confused shamaness who was responsible for the absolute massacre of your cohort. You see the shadowy form of the hyena-like man standing tall and imposing and looking down at you. And beneath him, you see Oedicus, and beneath Oedicus, you see Dogicus. You also see your ally Andronikos and Halise fighting for their lives.
This is wrong. And Orrin's gonna say,
I don't know what's going on with your sound settings, but you keep clipping, for
Oh.
me at least.
shit, he only tweak my threshold here.
Yeah, that's got to be what it is. Yeah.
Alright, we'll see if this is any better.
Okay.
Alright, so Orrin will kind of come to his senses, looking around at everyone. He kind of lingers, looking over at Lucas and Isadora. This is Andronicus. Is that you? What are you doing here?
Making shit up about Stygian Row, apparently. No, we gotta get out of here. We're here to... You fell off the ship, remember?
What? Another of Lutheria's tricks. How do we get out?
Not dying? I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well, hopefully it goes different than the first time then. And yeah. Who does Atticus pass to?
Okay. Let's see. Atticus, you were the last in the round. Who do you pass to in round 3?
I'll pass to Orrin, and when he does that, the jackal creature is gonna turn him and say, the only way out is through.
Okay. Orrin, you're up.
All right. Kind of coming back into himself, he'll once again turn to Lucas and say, "Illusion or not, we need to deal with that caster just like before. Let's take a walk." And Orrin will kind of push his way to the front of the line, and we'll kind of brace the shield outwards, and then like the intention is to have Lucas come with back to back and kind of make their way like as a unit out towards the shaman.
All right. So you're gonna start trying to push through the current centaurs that are melee and sort of leave your allies to hold them while you kind of push through to get to her.
Yeah.
Okay. How we'll do this is you will give me an acrobatics check, because in Dreams we have access to all editions of D&D, and this will be used to determine if you are able to sort of evade any of the opportunity attacks that will be coming at you.
All right.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, you duck and weave and roll, and make your way between the legs and flanks of the centaurs, clearing their sort of pack. You see the confused, chicken-headed centaur looking about, balking and screaming, still in control of her magic, but completely disoriented by this change that has happened.
Alright, Orrin will rush up. He'll like dash up to her and then action surge, and we'll try to stab her a couple times.
Okay. Yeah, those are both going to hit. Half chicken, half centaur. She's gonna attempt her saves to maintain the spell. Eventually that has to fail, right?
Oh.
There you go. All right. The entanglement drops on your allies, and you have freed them.
Alright.
All right. She cocks ahead at you, and she looks down, and very dramatically she says, "Baka!"
Not like before. Orrin will turn and begin to start moving back towards them, but we'll pass to Andronicus.
All right, she will steal for her team. Yeah, she will steal for her team. She's going to summon forth a totem. And let's see. Where are you at, totem? There we go. All right, she summons forth a totem into the battlefield. There we go. And through that totem, she can begin activating some special magics and whatnot. Basically, through the totem, she can cast spells as if she was there. It's kind of like a familiar situation. And yeah, all right. With that summoned, the others will just kind of begin attacking your allies. So I'll just roll a couple of checks here, see what we got going on. Right. All right, so soldiers do begin dropping. They just don't have the raw endurance of these centaurs, and also they're just beat to shit from the previous engagement. and so they do start to drop under the pressure of bow shot and spear and hoof. As is the way, all of the red shirts are dying first. All of the named NPCs are sort of holding on. All right. The NPC allies will, of course, steal since they have been beat up pretty badly. And let's see. All right. With one last mighty roar, Gavril does end 2 of the attacking centaurs on the bridge before dropping to his knees of exhaustion. Maybe he's succeeding to cost a little hard over there. Your allies here, Isadora, freed from her stuff. Seeing that Gavril is not long for this world, she wants to rush over and go to him. Lucas, you see her begin to break off and head towards them.
Stay in rank, Isadora.
All right, give me a intimidation or persuasion. Oh shit! All right, yeah, 25. She stops. She turns. She moves forward, and they stand next to you and begin to fight. Centaur is felled, but the battle continues to rage. They will pass to Helise.
Okay, so seeing that getting angry seemed to work, and again, guilt and dead bodies, Helise is going to get an idea of summoning the fallen back to our ranks, and she's read about it, she's heard about it, she's seen it done, but doesn't know if she can do it, but she's going to attempt to cast Spirit Guardians.
Oh, hype.
And beat back this onslaught of centaurs and see if using that can turn the tide and we can rejoin ranks.
Okay.
I'll just a caster check.
Yep. A 12. Best I could do for you is the spiritual weapon.
Can I summon it next to the caster that Orrin's fighting with?
You can.
All right, I will do so and then have it strike at the caster.
All right.
The caster chicken.
This is the first spiritual weapon of this campaign, I believe. Let's see what we got.
We don't have any clerics.
Will one appear? I don't know. Let's see. Spiritual weapon. Man. I don't see her. What does your spiritual weapon look like?
For Helise, I feel like it would be... I feel like it would be a trident. I think she's still, carrying that torch for Andronicos. And
Oh shit!
That's his weapon. Her spiritual weapon would be a trident.
Okay. I don't have an animated trident, so we'll just go with this blue mace that it's kind of we'll pretend. Theater of the mind. So yeah, you summon it, and let's see. Here we go. Facts, biology. All right, so go ahead and just do a wisdom plus your proficiency. So I guess for this it would just be a divine strike again, but basically as a bonus action.
All right.
All right. Yeah, that hits. Drop us some force damage there. They will try to make a. Oh, they don't need to make a save anymore. But damn, it just keeps getting worse and worse for them. That's actually 2 complications I was supposed to roll for them. All right, misfortune. Okay. One random combatant besides you may roll for a boon or gain 1.
Orrin's right there at his face.
Yeah, it's Orrin's dream sequence. All right, do you want a fortune token in the dream or do you want a boon?
I'll take the boon.
Okay. Probably has a
When you
better
wake
street
up?
value IRL, yeah.
Nice.
Total confidence. Very nice. Okay. Anything else from Halise? That was manifestation, a bonus action. You have a move if you want to take it.
I guess Halise will, again, not really trusting Atticus, but we'll get up there with him because that'll also put her next to Andronicus as well. And so she's got the chakram in one hand and is just trying to fight off the centaurs as best she can.
All right. Whew.
She's still trying to dig deep and get to those, Bruce Banner-like wells of anger that she's spent so many years trying to keep in check. She's got to get angry.
So, as that continues, who do you pass to? You got Andronicos, you've got the centaurs on the bridge, and you have Atticus.
I'll pass to Andronicos and say, Andronicos, I have your back. We will do this together.
Okay, Andronicos, to you.
All right, so seeing my father / random guy that I have never met in my life go down,
It's a whirlwind of emotion.
And yeah, really. I'm going to dash over to the start of the bridge.
Okay. It is still encapsulated in vines, so you will need to make a saving throw as you move into.
I thought I was.
There's two different casters. Yep.
Okay.
There's each group of centaurs is their own caster.
Does Isadora look at you like?
Yeah.
So,
you just told her to let to go, and then you run off. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's random NPC, and I'm a player character. God damn it!
Oh shit. Okay.
What save am I making here?
This is let's see, entanglement.
I really hope it's strength.
Let's see.
But I think it's dexterity to avoid the first part. I think it's strength to break out.
A creature in the area when you cast a spell must do a strength save. Other than that, I guess it's just difficult terrain. It doesn't keep grabbing you.
Okay. Then I'm going to move right here, and I'm going to cast a gust of wind going along the bridge.
Okay, dope. All right. So you begin casting a gust of wind along the bridge.
Yeah, but I want to manifest for a Turg style gust of wind.
Oh, very nice. Okay. Go ahead and give me a check. This is dangerous because if you do poorly, it's going to be a sad gust of wind.
Fucking turning these fucking templates is such a pain in the ass.
If you hold shift, you should be able to just scroll wheel it, I think.
I know. Theoretically, I'm supposed to be decent at this.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you bust out a Viterg level gust of wind. Very nice. Which essentially means all of us were overexcited and misinterpreted the rules and thus made it way cooler than it actually was. All right. So we'll just say it goes. Yeah, it was. All right. So yeah, you kind of blast it straight down the thing. Okay. Any creature in the line must spend 2 points of movement. Each creature that starts its turn there. Okay. And then who do you pass to?
I'm going to use the rest of my movement to move back 1. So that I'm marginally in line with people.
Okay.
And then who's left? Atticus?
Yeah.
I will pass to Atticus then. Giving him the side eye the whole time because I can see this creepy weird guy that's also Atticus.
Yeah.
Halise had just ran next to me, right?
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna see the Dogicus turn towards you and cackle like a hyena. Oddly enough, and then I'm gonna try and run towards Orrin. If they, not really worrying about my safety too much, but just trying to get next to him.
Okay. Okay, so you're gonna kind of like break ranks from all these guys. You can do the same thing Orrin did if you want. You could try to do an acrobatics check to see if you could duck, dodge, weave through the crowd. Oof. All right. As you go, you take several attacks as they try and trample you. Or not trample you, excuse me. As they try to smash you with their hoofs and stab you with their spears.
Right. The second 2 hit for sure.
Okay. But you do manage to make it over to Orrin.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and try and bite the caster next to.
Okay.
Pack tactics.
Oh, that dice is teasing. Dice was teasing. Yeah, 24 definitely hits for 10. They are beyond bloodied. This caster is in pretty bad shape.
And I guess the jackal thing will turn towards Orrin and just stare at him, watching what watching what he does.
Yeah, as you approach, Orrin goes from like happy to see Dogicus alive, and then like happy to see Oedicus, and then sees like this other thing, and is like just frowning at it.
As you look at him, he says,
"Is this place you're doing?"
He says, as you say that, he smiles at you and says, "Walk the dream, Dreamwalker."
All right, that would take us to this next group. As this other group, the bridge group of centaurs, begins to activate, you hear that familiar Lutheria laughter begin to echo all around you. And you watch as the 2 centaurs who were slain by Gavriel begin to shake and move and reanimate. As they pull themselves up, flesh sort of tears away, and nearby plants growing under and near the bridge help to sort of animate the corpses, almost like they are a marionette. And you see these centaur rise back up, nightmarish in their form, and they proceed to essentially stomp Gavriel into the ground. They turn their attention then to young Lucas and the wind, and all of them must make their saves. This whole goddamn bridge. Here we go. All right, trying to get a 14 here. One of them had a hard time. Okay, so let's see. Complication. A random creature takes any damage this action would have caused. It takes 1d6. Okay, have all their creatures within 50 feet of the original creature roll d20, the highest of the... All right, well, I'll just say that we'll count the saves. So the fiendish one takes the damage. So in this case, it would be... I believe these guys are level 4, so there you go. Takes some damage. And a couple of them are blasted back. The one that did really bad, what is it? Unpardonable. Yeah, Unpardonable is actually launched like off the bridge into the water. And as it goes, it flails out with its hoofs, and then it kicks Fiendish in the head a few times as it is launched off the bridge into the water. So let's see, where are you at, Fiendish? Okay, so yeah, then Fiendish is pushed back as well. All right. The rest of them see that Lucas is causing this, and they are going to, after stomping this dude to death, they're going to start making their way over there, but it is difficult terrain, so they kind of begin pushing against the wind, making their way towards you. All right. Let's see. And then this spellcaster. Yeah, she's going to maintain concentration on that, and she's going to drop her own totem, and she's going to drop it right, we'll say here. There we go. Okay. And that is that. On the next turn, they will pass back to their allies. As they do, you see more of these, or this slain centaur right here begin to stand up. And it also sort of nightmarishly joins the battle with the others. Let's see. All right. Isadora cries out, Lucas, they are not staying dead. There is nothing we can do. Lutheria herself has damned us. And as she says that, the centaurs begin just unloading on her ass with their attacks and bows. But apparently Sunday mornings are for rolling ones. Oh my god. All right. Oh, another complication occurs. Exposed defenses. Okay, yeah. Seeing an opportunity, Isadora is going to try and stab at them. Alas, a 12 is just shy of the of what she needed. So she's just kind of fighting against this creature that is now animated and fighting beyond death. More and more of your allies drop. And Orrin, as you watch this happening, there is a part of you who knows that this is how it happened. You buried this part of your memories deep because it was horrific and it made no sense, and you assumed it was just sort of nightmares that you were having, thinking back to what had happened. You took a blow to the head, you were left for dead, you were badly maimed. Maybe it was a hallucination, maybe it was a bad dream, maybe you just remembered it wrong. But watching this play out, this is what happened in the fight, minus the chicken head.
Yeah, I'd say Orrin's been like, he's aware, he's conscious of his allies here, and like Andronicus, Thylea, Oedicus, but he's trying to do things differently. But it's like he is still mimicking like what all he did in his past. He's kind of helpless to change things.
And as you realize that, you return to the Nyx.
I'd say he's realizing this right as he's plunging the spear into the shaman.
Yeah. Yeah, her blood kind of sprays free, and you see your own soldiers begin to shake and rise like wraiths and wights and zombies to turn on their fellows. All the while, the mocking laughter of Lutheria echoing through the scene. You find yourself, minus Hirak, the four of you just sort of floating adrift again in the Nyx. Andronicus, you are back in your body, such as it is, but it's like, star body. So I guess you'd be like glowing and shit, looking kind of dope. And
every time I turn, just like a spray of seawater goes on.
Oh yeah, beautiful crystalline particle effects of seawater kind of splash everywhere, and your voice is the rumbling of the ocean waves. Halise, I don't want to speak for you, but I mean sploosh.
Andronicus is magnificent.
A nervous laughter.
Just give me a moment. And Orrin's gonna kind of like stare out, looking down at his missing arm.
Oedicus is gonna slowly walk up towards you, doggy paddle up towards you, and just like.
So Andronicus remembers that he knew something happened in Stygian-Ro, but he doesn't remember what it was. So he turns to Orrin and he said, "That was What did happen in Stygian Row?
Let's just say there's 2 less taverns there now. It was, I'll tell you later. Did you kill Esther? How are you here? Did you get thrown off the boat as well?
Apparently I'm half dream or something. It's strange. Esther is dealt with. We came to get you back. And you as well, Lise, and I suppose...
I would hope so. Lisa's a little offended since the U was initially directed to Orrin. She's got this kind of look on her face.
As you say that, you notice a sort of a orangish sort of green star, Halise, off in the distance. But every time you glance at it, it's larger and closer than it was before.
Does it look like it's getting closer to me, or does it look like we're drifting towards it?
It looks like it is getting closer to you, but you're drifting towards it, but you're not, but you are.
I don't mean to alarm anyone, but there's this light that gets closer. Does anyone else see it?
Can we see it as well?
Andronicus, as you look around, you see sort of a tan and silver and beautiful sort of turquoise green star. It is beckoning to you. It feels safe and it feels like home. But you don't know if that is the one that Halise is referring to. Orrin, as you look around, any star you set your eyes upon seems to grow and glow. Atticus, you realize that there is more that must be done before you are released.
Okay. Atticus will kind of bite onto Orrin's like armored skirt thing and kind of just like yank at it a little bit.
Yeah, Orrin he's kind of, you can tell he's pretty out of it, but yeah, he looks down, kind of scratching Atticus behind the ears. Says, where to then? Look, can we still see the knoll?
Not as much, but you know it's there.
Yeah, Orrin will kind of looking from Atticus to the knoll.
Halise, you took your eyes off of it for just too long, perhaps, because when you look back, give me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh. Lisa, you know exactly where that window leads, where and when it looks back to, and you feel your heart breaking. I will.
Oh no.
It's the boar fight.
Probably. Unless it's not.
Oh, it's the boar fight. All right. As you look around, Halise, go ahead and give me a charisma saving throw as you enter the stream.
Whoop, wrong button. That was not the save button.
Oh, I mean that's still really good. Yeah, it's still really good.
We'll just roll with that.
Yeah. You are in control of your faculties. You know this is a dream. You know that you are being forced to watch the fall of your allies, chosen by the Oracle, tasked with the defeat of the Great Boar. Confident beyond reason, your allies called out to the boar with no plan other than to slay it. And the boar rose to the challenge. Orrin, you find yourself in the body of a mighty spear maiden, trained by the Amazons for battle. You have no idea the beast would bring this much power to bear. Andronikos, you find yourself in the body of a spry and wily scout who had suggested to his allies that traps be laid, but was overruled, saying that traps and ambush were the tactics of cowards, and you had been called to be heroes. And Oedicus, you find yourselves in the body of an elderly man who long thought adventure and opportunity were beyond his reach. You were called by the Oracle to prove yourself, and you will do anything to show that you are worthy, that your life has not been a stale and uninteresting story. This is your chance to shine, to be something more than you were. Laying dead at the cave entrance, you see your ally who was trampled and gored to death instantly as the fight began. Elisa, you see your allies overlaid into these bodies, and you see it's all playing out just as it did before. All right. Everybody go ahead and roll some initiative here.
Where's the auditor? Was the auditor there?
Oh, that's watching the whole thing? Oh, what's weird is she's not. It's almost like she doesn't exist.
Oh.
Okay. The boar lets out a mighty and tremendous roar, and it is ready and willing to do whatever it takes to destroy these interlopers into its territory. Fueled by hatred of the humans who intruded into its lands, slew its mate, and endangered its family, the great boar begins to let loose its confusing stink. Let's see. So everybody needs to make wisdom saving throws as a horrible and noxious odor begins to rise off of the beast. Oh, yeah, no problem, no problem. Okay, maybe a little bit of a problem. All right. Yeah, so this causes a confusion-like effect for 1 minute. You hear the many bloops of its Paragon actions, and it will pass play to Oedicus, who is confused. Oedicus, go ahead and give me a D10.
Oh, it's a D10, not D8. Hold on.
I believe it's a D10. Yeah, it's a D10. All right, 6. You stand there, unable to think or move. You lose your turn, essentially. Who do you pass to?
Pull it together, old man.
You get to do a new wisdom save at the end, because it is a lingering effect.
He laughs nervous. The old man laughs nervously, and, staring directly ahead towards, I guess, Orrin. I guess through the board's legs towards where Orrin is. Orrin's character is.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll pass to Orrin, and then wisdom save.
Okay.
Wisdom.
Oof. Yeah, you continue to be completely confused by what is happening here. As you go to pass, the boar is going to use its Paragon action, and it looks like it is going to try and gore. Let's see.
We told you to stay back, old man.
You can't tell me what to do. Get off my lawn.
I've
Oh,
got
damn.
mage armor.
All right, yeah. So it's going to go ahead and try and gore Orrin, the Spear Maiden of Themis. Here we go. Uh, 30 for 29.
Oh shit.
Yeah, she. Yeah, it just gets caught under either shoulder, I guess, by the tusks.
Okay. Give me a strength save.
I remember these rolls.
Should I be applying this to my Orrin health, or?
Yeah. I mean, if it was applied to this woman's health, she'd have died instantly. So.
All right. Strength save. Oof.
Oh god.
Oh shit. Okay. Force movement. You move 1d3 plus 5. Shit. Okay. Trying to remember. Can you bracket in?
Oh, never mind. I have total confidence. So that'd be a 17.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right. Yeah. So 17 doesn't make it, but does prevent you from getting a nat 1. So yeah, it just flings you up into the air and up onto this ledge. You kind of land. In
I mean,
maybe
17
like
close enough for a succeed at the cost.
Oh, you could succeed at cost. You want to?
Yeah, because otherwise I'll lose the total confidence.
Okay. Let's see. Success at cost combat.
That's not good.
Oh no! All right.
The stink.
As you refuse to be moved, the boar lets out a flatulent blast from its anus and catches you right in the mouth. You are confused. All right.
That's rancid.
Orrin, who do you pass to?
Oh, is it my turn? Let's see.
Yeah.
So I need to make a D8 check, right? See what. See what he does.
You got hit, so I'm assuming you stole, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it is your turn. You don't pass. Yep.
Yeah. So it's a confused with a D10 or D8.
D10.
All right. Let's see what we get. 6.
Same deal. You stand around, huffing butt fumes, completely confused and disoriented.
No bonus actions.
No. You
Alright.
just stand and do nothing for the turn. You do get a lingering save at the end, and you get to pass to someone.
All right. Lingering save. Let's see. What is it for this one? It's a NDC DC 13 with advantage. Okay, 17. Nice.
Okay. Yeah, you bust free of the lingering effect, I'm assuming. Because, yeah. All right.
When pass to Elisa.
Okay. As you go to pass to Halise, the great boar rears up on its hind legs, slams down, and tries to gore Andronicus the scout. Here we go. And misses. All right. Let's see. Complication. Trap. Oh no! I guess
But
you,
you
did have
secretly-
a trick the whole time. Yeah.
Telling me
They
not to
told-
set trap.
They told you not to, but you did it anyways.
All right,
see.
so we all have to roll a d20.
Oh, kiss friendly fire. Yeah. All right. Everybody, give me a d20 roll. This one's for the piggo.
I'm having some Foundry issues. Or internet issues. I'm trying.
Okay. All right. I'll roll for you real quick.
Thank you.
Here we go.
All right, so far the piggo set it off. Oh,
Okay. Highest combatant set it off. Okay. So you had set a trap that would essentially cause alchemist fire to sort of swing down and sort of smash against the boar. So you see some like nearby vines and branches. The branches snap. The vines that were taunt kind of whip back into their normal position, slingshotting the stuff at the boar. It has to make a dexterity saving throw to avoid taking a couple of bottles of alchemist fire. All right, here we go. 12 is not enough. So as they smash against the boar, it is set ablaze.
Oh no, we shouldn't set traps. That's a terrible idea.
Scout,
well, look who did it now.
I told you no traps. It's very dishonorable. Not for the people of Themis. She coughs up blood.
To our nameless, trampled dead comrade. And say, well, yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen either.
All right. Let's see. So that brings us to Andronicos the Scout. Your trap was successful. The boar is ablaze. You are not, I believe, stink confused, or are you?
What was the
save? You made a wisdom save, but you failed. So yeah, you are confused. Give me a D10. So as you're boasting of your, let's see, a 2 on confusion. I believe you can. D10. All right, hold on. I had confusion opened. There we go. Oh god, yeah. You catch another mouthful of the horrible smell of the beast, and you cannot move or take actions this turn. All right. Who do you pass to?
I will pass to.
You got Oedicus or Halise. All right, Halise. Halise, you know that when this happened, when your ally was run down by the boar and gored to death, you guys fled. You fled as quickly as you could. Your ally, the Spear Maiden of Themis, she got a grievous wound that really effed up her leg. Basically, you guys scattered into the woods, met up, and returned to the Sour Vintage failures. You still remember the disappointment in the eyes of Kira, who at the time you did not know was one of your gods, judging you and finding you unworthy.
It was that damn trap. It was all going so well until then.
I don't have visual again. I think my sight on the token got broken again.
Oh, okay. No worries. I'll fix it.
Okay, there we go. Everybody's close.
It's all mostly ephemeral, anyways. But we got the VTT tools.
Andronicos is still impacted by the stench.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. I guess I'm gonna rush up and bonus action healing. Well, no, that won't work. And feeding a potion to somebody else, that's an action, right?
Correct.
I'll just try it again. Since I know this is a dream, 100%. I don't have this confusion, but it kind of worked in the last dream. Maybe it'll work here. I'm gonna rush up, and because allies are within range, and this could work, I'm gonna try and summon Spirit Guardians again.
Okay. Give me that wisdom check.
Damn it!
Yeah, best I could give you is
Spirit Backyardigans.
Spirit Backyardigans. Oh no, that's amazing. God. Yeah. I'm gonna say Sacred Flame. Probably the best you could get with that one.
All right. In that case, I will Sacred Flame the boar.
All right, Sacred Flame. We'll try to make a dexterity save. It fails, so we'll go ahead and take some damage. Go ahead and give me, I believe, 2 d8s.
All right.
All right, yeah, it takes 15 points of damage on top of the damage it's taken, and it turns its attention fully on you. And in its rumbling voice, it says, "There she is, the coward, the failure."
Yes, I was a coward before, and a failure. But I have the heroes of prophecy with me, and I will not fail again.
The Heroes of Prophecy. Who is that? It's a very dumb name. Elise, get your head in the game.
All right, Elise, all that's left is Oedicus.
I passed Oedicus.
Okay.
Right,
Passed the
D10.
old man Oedicus.
There's a lot going on with Oedicus now. The old man, hyena.
It was too great of a poll for me to remember all of Elise's companions' names, and I appreciate nobody asking me for them.
Just the first one.
Okay.
We were
3 times.
not into that with her.
All right. The creature uses its action to make a melee attack against a randomly determined creature within its reach. Okay, so that would be the boar.
The old man tries to bite this boar.
Yes, that's the spirit.
Oh, you bite the hell out of that boar. Oh, I should also mention that when you passed, Halisa, when you passed to Oedicus, since you did blast it pretty hard, it is going to try and gore you as well.
Oh, fuck.
Yep. Oh, God. 30 for 30. Give me a strength saving throw. All right. You do not make it. You are knocked back 10 feet. And the boar kind of says, "A failure before, a failure now. Watch as everyone you love dies." And turns its attention to Oedicus, who, busted it on the rump with a human bite, one of the most unsanitary weapons of all time. Oedicus, who do you pass to?
I'll go ahead and do my save again, and then I'll pass to. It's a new round, so I'll pass to. It's the Elise's dream. I'll pass to Elise.
Oh shit. Okay.
Wisdom.
I'm assuming Elise was knocked prone.
It just says, I believe, knocked back.
Knocked back? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
like like dramatic, like anime style, like you leave like 2 trails of dust in the dirt as you kind of like knocked back by the force, but somehow keep your footing. Yeah.
Gotcha.
What was the DC for the confusion?
DC for the confusion.
It was 12.
12.
Okay, so I'm no longer confused.
All right.
Is anyone still confused? Is Orrin still confused, or is it Andronicus that's confused?
Andronicus is still confused.
All right. I don't know if this will work, but I'm going to run up to Andronicus, and I'm going to try and transfer the confusion from Andronicus to the boar.
Oh, hype. Okay. All right, so it's got to make a charisma saving throw. All right, here we go. Oof, it just makes it with 13.
Damn it.
Okay.
But the melody's gone, right? Still.
Yeah, the malady is removed, but you weren't able to apply it to anyone else. So Andronicus is no longer confused.
Yay!
Now, that's just as an action. I guess I will toss a healing word at Orrin and then pass to Andronicus.
Okay. As you pass to Andronicus, the creature will use its last Paragon and try and gore Andronicus. 35 for 35.
Let me check my AC real quick.
Sure.
No, for real.
Those of you who fought the boar, this boar seems a little souped up from the when you fought it back at level 1 or 2. Just saying. Yeah.
For real though, in Pathfinder with 35, you would have to check your AC.
Yeah, truth. All right, give me a strength save, DC 18.
Why am I concentrating?
Oh, because gust of wind.
Oh.
Yeah, no worries.
Mm.
Okay.
Centaurs.
Oh, that was the that was the concentration.
Oh, that was the concentration? Okay. Never
For
mind.
the centaurs on
Save
the...
is 19.
All right. Yeah, 19. You hold your ground. It sends you nowhere. It is your turn.
How much was that healing word?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
7.
not
9.
merged.
7.
We're not confused. What's this double shit that's making me glow?
Oh, that's just you being Nick.
It's
Oh,
just
okay, that's fair.
Yeah. The boar says, yes, much better than last time. Stay and die. Be shred to pieces upon these great tusks. Be trampled to paste beneath these mighty hooves. Do not deny me the pleasure of your death this time around. Die as heroes, or flee as cowards.
All right, so I want to bonus action Sanctuary Helise.
Okay, dope.
And I'm gonna say he didn't kill you the first time. I'm not gonna let him kill you this time. And then I want to try to levitate the boar.
Oh my god. The boar is very heavy.
Oh yeah, I forgot I can only do 500 pounds.
Yeah. The boar weighs about 5,000 pounds.
It's a Rolls Royce, right?
I mean, he is huge.
All right. I guess I'll say somebody get on the other side so we can flank him, and then be ready to attack afterwards.
Okay.
I'm already flanking with the young lady over there.
Thanks, Pop.
Well, I mean, I'm not flanking with anybody though.
We'll just move over.
Didn't you
All
put
right.
any more traps down?
Who do you pass to, Andronicus the scout?
Orrin.
I am not Orrin. I am Amazon warrior of Themis.
All right. We'll give her a name.
I like that out of the names. Yeah.
Amazonia.
No names.
I just picture
names.
there's like
no
it's
names,
like
no names.
no
Okay, you
names,
don't
no
want to
names.
get attached. All right, got it.
there's like a car engine horn whenever they say a name.
Yeah.
A boar
It's,
snort.
It's
Beautiful.
the SpongeBob
Oh no,
censorship.
it's bleeped out like in Kill Bill Volume 1.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay.
Alright, she will. I guess. I mean, she'll second win. I guess.
Okay.
Amazon warriors probably have that. Damn, that's a
Ooh.
beefy second wind. Holy smokes.
Nice.
Alright,
Giffy second win.
then
With almost max rolls.
let's see. Yeah, she kind of steals herself and says, "Old man, watch this!" And she'll rush up and plunge her 2 swords. Oh no, she uses a spear. Amazon warrior is like just a one-handed spear, like dueling style. No shield.
No, she has a shield.
Oh,
She-
okay.
yeah.
It's like okay, nice. All right, then yeah, she'll rush up, do some acrobatic shit, and try to slam the spear down into the board.
Yeah, I mean, Wonder Woman has a shield and a sword sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you got proficiency, all that stuff. Might as well use
Yo.
it. All right. First
Ooh.
attack does nothing. The second attack,
first
critical.
first attack she uses the pole vault off the boar and then drives it down.
Hype. All right. Yeah, and and I guess it turns to stone. Oh, amazing.
I'm actually a Medusa, the one and
Yeah.
only.
All right, so you, I'm gonna say you leap onto its back and just start stabbing into its back. The creature begins to buck and turn back and forth, but for now you should be okay.
Say goodbye to your paragons, and she will pass to the great boar.
Okay. All right. So you pass the great boar. You hear the bloop bloop bloops of its 4 paragon actions coming back, and because it still counts for the guy that died. And let's see.
That's rude.
Let's see. Spiteful charge. Yeah. It is going to, for spiteful charge, it is going to declare Andronikos as its target. So yeah. What that means is if it successfully attacks that target, it will deal extra damage and knock the target prone in addition to its other effects. At any point during this round, if it manages to hit Andronikos.
Nice.
Is it still flaming?
It is still flaming, yeah. So that's going to be an issue for Orrin and also for the creature. So Orrin, I will let you decide. Do you leap free of its back, or do you stay there and share in this fire damage?
I feel like an Amazon warrior would be down for it.
All right.
Yeah, if she's like no traps, it's dishonorable. It's like no, I'll take that fire damage.
Yeah, each of you takes 5 points of fire damage from the 2 stacked. Alchemist fires. Yeah. And all right, the creature has declared its target, and then it is going to. Yeah. All right. It is going to use trample, and what that means is if it moves through the space of a creature 2 or more sizes smaller than you, they must make strength saving throws DC 15 or be knocked prone. And the goal here is it's going to just try and run over all of you as it kind of runs back this way and prepares for a charge. So before you can make an opportunity attack, you need to see if you are knocked prone by this attack. In order to stay on its back, I'm going to need an acrobatics or an athletics check from Orrin.
Total confidence. So that'd be a 25.
25. All right. Yeah, you managed to stay on its back as it runs over Thylea and Andronikos.
Oh, actually, no. Never mind. It's a nat 1 because the total confidence goes away after that nat 20.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see what the complication is then.
Just try to keep it real.
Oh, your speed is dropped to 0. We'll say that you kind of fall, not so much prone, but you fall and you're kind of like disoriented as the creature like knocks you off
the back of the boar.
There's some thick mud. There's some thick mud there.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of you just like land it hard, and kind of stagger back to your feet just as you see the boar run over Thylea and Andronikos. So Thylea and Andronikos, give me strength saving throws DC 15.
So is that considered an attack, or is that just a thing that the boar can do?
That's just part of its thing. It's just it's just trampling stuff.
All right.
Oh, Andronikos, no problem. Yeah, he's not technically harming you. He's just sort of like literally bowling over you. All right, so Thylea, you would drop prone. Both of you are entitled to opportunity attacks though, as it runs past you.
Okay.
Oh, let's do it.
All right.
It was going to be
11. I take it does not hit.
11 does not hit. A 24 most assuredly does. The creature is getting super pissed. It begins to paw at the ground and prepare to attack. Atticus, it passes to you.
So
Atticus, are you with us?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Okay. He's all the way over there. He has a. I have a bow, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, I mean, you. Sure. Yeah, you have a bow.
All right.
Here, I'll drag this dude's bow onto this hyena's character sheet.
I was just gonna say, can I bite and just say that it's a bow?
Oh, no, I mean that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, you could just bite and we'll just say it's a bow. That's fine.
Okay. All right. This old man is gonna walk up to not be in a line with them, with everybody. I guess to be like over here, and then take a shot with his bow. And as he does that, you see that he like opens his mouth and chomps down, confused why he's doing that.
Old man. You said you were a spellcaster.
Oh, I was a spellcaster, not a scout. Either way.
I think there might be something wrong with this guy.
Let's see. A 12 is technically enough. You do hit the boar. All right, the boar kind of is staggering a bit, breathing heavy. Dramatic plumes of like I don't know how to describe it. Steam kind of coming off of its body and out of its mouth. All right.
I'll pass to Halise so she can get up.
This is a new round. I don't know if it would steal and lose its paragons. That seems kind of crazy. But I mean,
depends on how angry it is and whether
it's
it wants
pretty
to trample
mad.
a prone
Yeah,
enemy.
it wanted to get that sweet Andronikos like charge damage. All right, Halise, it is gonna steal, and it is going to charge Andronikos, giving it everything it has. If it hits Andronikos, it will probably smoosh him.
I'm gonna give him the "Bring it, bro" hand sign.
All right. Halise, this is your dream. What if you could do anything? What would you do right now?
Oh my!
Since the boar is on fire, and I've seen Maya do this before, I would just want to channel all of my emotions into that fire and just make it as intense and as strong as possible. That maybe the boar will just spontaneously combust and be sacrificed right then and there, which is what we were trying to do in the first place.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me a wisdom check. Okay. Yeah. What is this effect? What are we looking at? What happens?
She closes. She looks at the boar as it's scratching the ground, preparing to charge, and gore Andronikos. And Andronikos he's got the trident in one hand. He's like doing the whole "bring it, bro" with the other. And Halise squeezes her eyes tight, reaches out with her right hand, and just sort of like monkey paws into like a fist, and just focuses all of her love, all of her anger, all of her fear, every emotion she's been feeling for these past two dreams, and just thinks, just burn away, burn away, burn away. And the fire gets stronger and brighter and hotter, and she's starting to see the light through her closed eyes. She opens her eyes and looks, and the boar is glowing gold, red hot, and eventually it just bursts.
All right. Yeah. You are doing this. You are concentrating. The boar is tearing up the earth, running straight for Andronikos. Fire trailing behind it, earth being kicked up by its mighty hooves. It lowers its head to make a gore attack with advantage that will add 6d8 additional damage if it hits Andronikos. Right as it is about 10 feet away from Andronikos, you see its flesh begin to burn away, revealing muscle and bone beneath. So much is its fury that it continues to go. Halise continues to chant and pray, and it manifests her will upon it. And as it collides with Andronikos, it just into burning ash and debris that kind of
It got snapped.
across all of you guys. And you find yourselves back in the Nyx.
Orrin looks down to Oedicus, still making biting motion.
Yeah.
Elise just spent and worn out, and she collapses onto Andronikos' shoulder.
Yeah, I catch her and I say, he was That was a lot more difficult than last time. I don't think I'd have made it through that one.
Well, we know that they did, apparently. Except for Socialist.
We turned tail and ran, but we made it through that time. This time, because I have my hero. And Police is just, making googly eyes at Andronicus. I could not have done it without you and your friends.
I'm not the one that atomized the war.
No, but you being there and seeing your strength and resolve all these months, it's been an inspiration. And Police just sort of closes her eyes again, and she's just drifting, because it took a lot of will to pull that one off.
Fair.
This still leaves us with the issue of finding an exit from this place.
Do
We
I
also-
see that same thing that I saw last time?
You do. You know that window leads to the city of Mitros.
We've yet to find Hirak as well.
I think by not choosing Hirak, we consigned him to oblivion, but I'm not sure if that's the case for real or not.
Well, if it is, that's on Sibo. Just kidding.
Hold on. It's not on Sibo. It's on Sibo's kid that he has to look after.
Oh, dang.
Oh,
Well, that-
let him know.
Oh, yeah, he's grounded.
Oh.
It's your
My
fault.
grounded father! You killed a centaur that doesn't really exist.
Because you exist, he doesn't exist.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Little did he
Dang.
know, Calic had just told him that she was pregnant.
Oh,
God.
No.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know if I can handle all this, guys. Yeah, this is some heavy shit. All right. Yeah. You know, Nick Sporn, that this will take you home.
Warren's gonna look around. Are there any? You said the dots kind of increase as if there's some place you could travel to.
It's almost as though you could enter these windows if you liked, but you lack the discipline and the experience to really know which dreams you're going into. You can just go into random dreams essentially as you drift through the Nyx. Some could be pleasant, some could be deadly. Most would belong to others, not to yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a perception, and then I message you in Discord.
Okay. Okay. As you look around, you do see that there is a star, both beautiful and ominous. Teal and purple swirl amongst themselves. Looking at it, you feel your heart rate increase. You feel frightened and roused and a bit drunk as you look upon it.
Can
Andronicus, you follow Orrin's gaze and you see what he is looking upon. And you know that this would be a very dangerous window to go through.
Orrin, I don't know if that's a good plan. Right there. That's right. That one right there. We go there and we're back.
Now that you've seen it, you can't unsee it. It does seem to grow larger, slowly, as you stare at it, quickly, as you turn your gaze away from it. You can hear ever so slightly the joyful, mocking laughter of Lutheria.
You saw what happened, Andronicus. You were there.
I was.
This might be the only chance I get.
Orrin, they're gone. It won't. This place, it's not our reality. It won't fix your past.
Edicus laughs nervously, but I don't know if is this possible. Can I laugh in the same type of like pattern as the Lutheria laugh that we?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, that's what he does. It's still Edicus's laugh, but it's just in the pattern of the Lutheria laugh that we've been hearing.
Everyone's gonna kind of like take his vision away, looking down at Edicus, and then back to Helise and Andronicus. Say no. We should return to Mitra. Still work to be done with the living.
And then Edicus laughs like normal Edicus.
Okay.
Before we leave, we need to talk about that dog. What is that? And I just point towards where the knoll was when we saw it.
It's another of Lutheria's schemes, probably.
So what's the thought process? Better the spy we know?
She can already observe us in any number of ways. At least with this, yeah, I think you're right. At least with this, we know where she's watching from. If you think it best, though, and Orrin will kind of like apprehensively look at his Zephos.
It seems like maybe at least in our world there's less interference from this creature in Atticus's body. I suppose for now we can just keep an eye on it.
Orrin's gonna reach out and try to. Is there a way he can like grab the knoll, like put a hand on its shoulder?
Yeah.
He's gonna grab the knoll and then like
you put your hand on his shoulder, he puts his hand on yours.
kind of staring into its eyes. Then his face kind of twists a bit, and like as he remembers like the fresh memory of what happened to his cohort, he puts his foot onto actually no, he switches. Oh god. Oh yeah, he puts his foot onto Edicus and will try to forcefully rip the knoll away from Edicus.
Okay. That is going to be a manifestation. So intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, opposed by Edicus's roll.
Okay.
Edicus, you will be at advantage.
Okay.
I'm going to burn my
Sorry.
Do we have any Fey inspirations? I thought I had an inspiration, but I guess I don't. Oh, I have the Bardic inspiration. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, well, you just added it as like a D6 or D8.
It's a D8, yeah.
As you attempt to do that, the Jackal is gonna look at you, and in your mind you're gonna hear to guide, to protect, but my methods are my own.
Yeah, Orrin's gonna shake his head and gonna try and rip him out.
Okay.
Damn it. I mean, D6 between.
And as he does that, he cracks a toothy smile, and you kind of hear a cackle, a low one.
Seems he's stuck fast for now, at least. I wouldn't consign Oedicus to a fate stranded in the Nyx. No matter what he carries on him. Let's return to Mitros.
As you turn around and leave that, the jackal will go, bend down and pet Oedicus, and then sit back down inside of him.
All right. Your attention no longer on the star. When you look back for it, you no longer see it. You no longer hear that laughter. All right, Andronicos, you lead everybody through the window to...
I do.
Okay. All right. As you approach, you hear the crash of waves. You know that this is going to be the shoreline or coast of Mitros, and you can hear sort of the songs of gulls flying about and the crash of waves, and you can almost smell the sea and the crisp air and the warm heat of a Thylean summer. All right. When you pass through here, you will be leaving the dream behind.
Orrin wasn't there when Kieran died, was he?
He was not.
I don't know. I don't know if the timing. I look over at Halise, and then I lead Orrin off a little bit, and I say, I don't know if there's any reason you would need to know before we return, but in the fight, it seemed like maybe all was going to be lost. Julian was on the edge. But Kira, she saved us, but in doing so, she's gone, Orrin.
She really did believe in us then.
Yes.
Well, let's make it count then.
We'll certainly do our best.
All right.
And I'm gonna push Halise through the little portal first.
Okay.
In case.
She goes through.
Opposed athletic.
Oh no, she likes being manhandled by Andronicus.
Oh, jeez, with disadvantage.
No. Like tells you the reason behind the whole ladies first thing and opening doors for women. Where they
All
came
right.
from.
Each of you passes through, and Andronicos, you're the last to go.
Yeah.
Okay. As you pass through, there is a bright light, warm, like the summer sun. Atticus, you are an adorable small dog. You are secretly eating a dead crab, hoping that your masters don't notice, because they always take the best foods away from you. If you're lucky, you can eat half and then roll around in the other half, getting extremely stinky.
You bathed earlier today. You were bathed.
I guess
Nearby,
that's-
you see your masters. They are sitting on woven blankets set right at the edge of the shoreline. They stare out at the ocean, where children play in the waves. Orrin and Halise, you are the man and woman who own this dog, and it is an unremarkable but beautiful summer day. The most interesting thing that has happened is that a famous athlete and his family decided to come to the same beach today. You look over and see the man and his wife, both Tritons, taking in the sun and looking out at the ocean, watching their children at play. Andronikos, you open your eyes and you feel a familiar hand holding yours. You look and you see your wife, and she smiles at you. Is everything okay, my love? You nodded off for a moment. Did you have a good nap?
Oh. This isn't... This... Oh. Yes.
Are you all right, my love? You seem haunted.
And he just grabs her and then pulls her over onto his towel, I guess, with him.
She kind of giggles a bit and says, "Oh, this is nice, but unexpected. What do I owe this new affection? This sudden interest in this old woman?"
Nonsense. You have always been the most beautiful.
She blushes purple, as Triton do. And she says, "Oh, you are such a flirt. It is no wonder that you are desired by most of Mitros, my handsome champion of the arena." And she kisses you. You hear a splashing from the water, and an adorable Triton child, who I don't have a miniature for, comes splashing up out of the waves, carrying a massive conch shell. The conch is flailing about, and since you are all Tritons, you can hear and understand the conch. And it's like, "What are you doing? What the hell is this? Air, are you trying to kill me? Come on, kid, this is ridiculous." And the kid runs up and says, Pater, Mater, look, I have found a snail. And he is very rude. And she kind of thrusts it forward with both hands to show the two of you.
He is very rude.
Hey, you gotta teach your kids some manners. This is ridiculous. I was just minding my own business, eating the poop off the bottom of the ocean, and this kid comes swimming down, picks me up. I tried to whap him with my proboscis, and now I'm starting to... I'm running out of... And your wife says, oh no, put him back in the water quickly. Not everyone can live on both worlds like us. Go now, go. And the child laughs, runs back towards the water, and then, as she's seen her father do many times, fucking shot puts that motherfucker. And you hear him go, "What?" as he is thrown back into the waves, and she lets out a squeal of delight.
I give her a few pointers on her form, but otherwise don't comment.
If we're close enough to see all this, Halise in the stream will clap at the show of strength of the child.
Orrin
Halise,
holds up at 9.
This is a lot. Andronikos has told you so many times that he has a wife and he has a family. that he appreciates your affections and your friendship, but he can't do anything with them. And over again, those words, those ideas are wiped from your mind. But in this moment, you remember in a painful montage the dozen plus times that he has told you this. And you realize that it was true.
As this is all sinking in, Elise goes from, amused and clapping at the child's performance to slowly heartbroken, and she'll look away from the scene, and she'll turn away from Orrin and just stare off down the other side of the beach, trying to wrestle with those emotions.
Orrin, you and Andronikos are seeing the beach of Mitros. You are seeing this beautiful summer day. You're seeing the children at play. But you see a storm off at sea, and it is a doozy. Like the storm that ravaged Mitros when you first arrived, but more ominous, more purposeful. You see the ocean beneath the storm is black. The skies roil angrily. Lightning and thunder dance and shout off in the distance. No one on the beach, besides the two of you, seems to be aware of this phenomenon. In the storm, you make out the bearded face of Sidon, his eyes hungry as they look upon the city of Mitros.
Orrin looks around, but being this person with his wife, he only sees Andronicus brand trident, which he hoped to get autographed, but he looks up to the storm. I guess so. While we're here now, all the memories that faded away of Andronicus come back here.
Anytime that Andronikos has told Orrin of his wife and family, and you have had those memories erased, they are all rushing back to you, just as they did for Helise. Atticus, none of this is registering for you. Just Tasty Crab. Tasty Crab, nice day. They're very distracted. You're rolling all up in that crab carcass. It is the best day ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does Atticus notice the storm at all?
No. You are fully... Yeah, you taking a day off on this one.
All right.
Yeah, Orrin's just going to keep watching.
Andronicus, your wife, sort of snuggling basically in your lap at this point, because you kind of pulled her to you. She kisses you again, her arms wrapped around you. She looks out to the sea, and she says, and then her eyes going to travel from your children to the coastline of the city. And she says, "Look, you can see our beautiful home from here. I was nervous when you said we should leave the oceans to live amongst the settlers. It was a bold move. The sort of move your father would have made. Your actions, your deeds. Some only see you as an athlete. But, Prince, I know that you are a diplomat. You are showing the people of the land, the settlers of Thylea, that even those born to serve Sidon can turn from hatred, can live in harmony. That peace is possible. I am proud to call you my husband. I love you."
Andronicus he's waiting for whatever is going to go wrong, but he's not paying enough attention. He's too distracted to notice what is going to go wrong. And so he's just getting more and more sucked in the further this goes. And so he turns to her and he says, "It's not important what they see me as. Just you're right. Anything that we can do just to meet with them, to show them the settlers, natives. It's all just words. What matters is that we're all people."
He smiles at you and kind of like nestles into your muscular arms, and you guys watch your children kind of playing in the waves. At this point, your son has found the exact same conch, and they are throwing it back and forth between them, and the whole time it's just like crying out, "Oh, this is come on!" Which just makes them laugh even more. You know that conch, in addition to tasting disgusting, are just really mean. So, I mean, honestly, this guy probably deserves everything that's happening to him. Your wife says, "This is a perfect day. If I had the means, I would make it last forever. Would you share this moment with me forever, my love?"
One moment forever. There's no growth. There's no progress. There's so much that we can still do, and I want to see our kids grow up. I want to know what they become. Standing still, it would rob them of that.
As you are saying that, you see the storm is closer, and the bright sun of this summer afternoon is fighting hard against the encroaching storm fronts. Now, almost a flicker as the clouds quickly move in front of and away from the sun. A rain begins to fall, and from this distance, you watch just sheets of it off on the horizon begin to fall upon the ocean. You see a shape in the water, massive, looming. Your children drop the conch, and they turn to stare out at the ocean as this looming shape beneath the waves grows ever closer. "Pater, there's something big in the water."
It appears God is unhappy with our happiness. Hey, come back to the beach.
Pater?
Son, you heard me. Back to the beach.
Okay. They start moving towards you, but as is the nature of dreams, they seem to be moving too slow for what you need them to do.
I'll start to detangle myself and stand up and begin to go towards them.
Okay. You see a massive kaiju class creature begin rising up out of the ocean as the storm rages and the thunder booms. You see the Kraken rise up out of the waves. In your mind, you hear the reverberations of its psychic communications. And it says, "Champion, I will see you very soon. We have much to discuss and much to do. You can waste no more time here. Life is for the living. Dreams are for the dead. Say goodbye and move forward." And the children are kind of backing away, terrified of the sight, and they run to you, and they kind of like dogpile on top of you. And your wife is kind of like pulling the children in, and she says, do not worry. Do not worry. It is fine. Everything will be fine. Yes, Andronicus, everything will be fine.
So I'm pushing everything behind me,
Okay.
all three of them, and just staring like defiantly angry at the Kraken. Not sort of shrinking back at all, just out the whole shebang. I will get them back. You don't get to keep them.
The psychic sound in your skull, you feel like blood just kind of gushing from your nostrils and gills, and the voice of the Kraken again in your head says, "Your lost memories are of no consequence to me. I look to the future. I am not a slave to the past like you. Seek me out, champion. We have much to discuss." And the vibrations of the psychic communication are such that you start to kind of black out. Orrin and Halise, you guys are just taking you're just hemorrhaging dream hit points from sort of the psychic emanations from this creature.
Honey, I think
Atticus,
it's time to
Atticus,
go.
it's totally fine. Crab bath is going well. You actually found a dead seagull. So you toss that into the little hole you dug. You got a little jacuzzi of gore, and you're just swimming in it basically. Oh, it's amazing.
I imagine the beach commoners are like either paralyzed or dead.
Your wife and children cling to you, and your wife puts a hand to your cheek. Her hand now sticky with the blood gushing from your gills. She turns you to look her in the eyes, and she says, "Do not go. Do not leave us. Please. My prince. My love. We can get through this together. You cannot go. I cannot lose you."
And he'll just look at her and, "I already lost you, but you won't stay lost, not forever."
She looks hurt, and as you say that, she just dissolves into sea foam, as do your children. And you collapse. Time passes, and the four of you eventually wake up on the beach as yourselves. The city of Mitros looms behind you. And you know, Andronikos, that this is the real world. You have left the Nyx behind.
What of the memories? Are they still there? Or are they?
Andronikos, so Orrin and Halise, you remember that Andronikos did in fact have a wife and children.
Ooh, dang.
But any other details of that dream, that sequence of his life, of his past, are still constantly being deleted and erased as they enter your mind.
All right. So Andronikos he's a shapeless being. His family's a shapeless kind of form, though. But now that they are there, just no memory of.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Orrin will kind of get up.
Now it's more, you know, he had or has a wife and children, but he, for whatever reason, he talks about it. He's a very private person.
Yeah. Well, for some reason my ears hurt, but Orrin will stand up, reach over, try to pull Elisa to her feet.
Also, Oedicus smells horrendous.
No surprise there. You'll start heading over to Andronikos.
Yeah. Andronikos, you see your allies approaching. The seas are calm. There's no storm. But you sit alone on the beach.
Why are we exiting here, not the palace?
Andronikos just looks over to where his wife and children were standing.
You can see the faint remnants of sea foam being reclaimed by the waves.
He lets out a very, very unsteady breath. And turns to Orrin and says, "Nicer view."
Fair enough. Shall we head back in then? Like gesturing towards Mitra.
Andronikos looks over at Orrin and then Halise and the reeking Oedicus and says, 3 out of 4. Could have been worse. Could have been better. What'll happen to him? Will he just be stuck in one of those nightmares?
Perhaps we could learn more control over the Nyx and go back for him. But for now, I think he is lost to us.
Can we go back for him? This seemed... I don't know. Absolute. Like it was all or nothing. For those who could be saved.
Yeah, I want to just kind of shrug. And start heading towards Mitros.
Okay. And that is how Orrin and Halise regrouped with the party.
And Oedicus, of course.
Oh, and with them as always is Oedicus.
We forgot to go to Oedicus' path. Another. Okay.
Yeah. You know, I
feel
time.
like Oedicus would be like, dude, my past is my future, my future is my past. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's true.
He doesn't look back, you know.
He had his past. It was him, devouring crab.
Oh, nice. All right. That was actually a separate sequence, right?
Yeah, that's why you didn't see a storm or anything.
In the background, the hyena pack is like walking off as Oedicus continues to roll in the crowd. Realizes he got left.
This fucking
Damn.
guy over here, so stupid. All he can think about is rolling the stake.
Alright. Damn.
Mm.
That was
Okay.
That was good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Double feature this week.
Yeah, oh man.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back at 8 p.m. To handle your guys leveling up and staffing of the ship and introduction of the B team mechanics. Well, I guess it's basically time for B team mechanics. Yeah. So
I feel like
Got
Andronicus,
great
Felice,
games.
and Orrin, and Oedicus, we need to form a support group.
Andronicus just has to retell the same story every week because he
Oh.
can't remember it.
50
I'm glad you're finally opening up about this, Andronicus. It's like the third time. We'll invite Julian. He's gonna need the support group as well.
Apologies for the low blows there, Andronicus, but you did choose the most beat me down of all the epic paths. So
Yeah.
yeah, you and Anastasia could form a support group for sure, for sure. All right, I got a bunch to do, but I'll see you guys at 8.
All right.
All right, enjoy
Thanks
your
for the game.
Sunday. Yeah,
All right, you too.
bye.